What's up, you guys? It's your girl Kalima, and you are watching Kalima Kam, where pop culture meets wisdom. It is time for my word of wisdom. Top 5 ways to love yourself. Oh, isn't it beautiful to be in love with yourself? If you don't know that type of love, well then, honey, you are missing out, and you better keep watching because I'm about to give you the real tea on how to do it. Loving yourself starts with your self-talk and perception. I say it all the time, perception is a choice. We live in the same world, we're all on planet Earth, but yet we all have different realities, and we choose to live out those realities. That's why Diddy can come from the hood and now be one of the richest men in the world, because he saw himself bigger than his reality. He chose to have a different perception about his life. And that starts with self-talk. Think about the way that you talk to yourself when you look at the mirror. A lot of the self-talk is going to be subconscious. So you have to bring that subconscious talk to your consciousness and say, you know what? I wasn't really speaking kindly of myself. My roommate, she doesn't even like to use the words I'm broke. She won't even put that in the universe because I'm not broken in any sort of way. I may not have the money that I'm comfortable with right now, but I'm never broke, I've always found that the universe always gives me what I need. I may not have what I want, but I have what I need. That is a way of changing your perception and being optimistic and being more positive about what's to come and about your life in general. And guess what? We control our brains. Eckhart Tolle is one of the best Buddhist teachers who teaches that sort of, mindfulness and, about meditation and being present. We can control our brains, and our brain, as you know, controls the feeling in the body. So if you're telling your brain that, oh my God, I'm never gonna freaking get to where I want to be, I'm never gonna, look the cutest and look the baddest and have the house, have the, the mansion, the car, I'm never gonna get there, your body starts to feel that weight on yourself. And that's where we're gonna go to health. Health is one of the number one ways to show yourself that you love yourself. I can't tell you how much I'm like, oh, I don't want to work out. But then I work out and I just feel so snatched. Like I don't even really see the results yet, but I'm just like feeling myself when I look in the mirror, and I'm proud of myself, and I'm like, yes, you did it. Because now you don't feel so guilty when you're cheating a little bit on your food and stuff, because you know that you take care of your body, i.e. you take care of yourself. And it really starts with health. I think that you also will attract people who care about their bodies more. I think that a person who cares about their body, they know that working out is also a mental gain. It's also exercising your body to feel that burn and love that burn. You know what I mean? Know that the burn is only going to bring good results, just like life. Knowing that the trials and tribulation is only going to make you stronger. It happens with life, but it also happens with muscle and with strength and with health itself. Acknowledge those insecurities. We all have insecurities, and it's okay. But how are we going to look at them? We're going to look at them in an optimistic way. We're going to choose to have a perception that says, you know what? I do wish I had a bigger booty, so I'm going to do some squats. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to make sure that I do some squats. And if I'm not doing squats and I don't see my booty changing, then that's the responsibility on me. That's not anybody else's fault. It's me. I think that those insecurities that we gain are from our environment, from our family. So acknowledge the patterns that you maybe have picked up from those people around you. Unfortunately, sometimes it is the family. So be mindful. We can't always change our circumstances. We sometimes, we're not old enough to move out, or we don't have, you know what I'm saying? But we can acknowledge what's going on around us and choose to see that situation and that experience as a temporary thing. This too shall pass, and also as something that I don't want for myself. It's actually a statistic that kids who grow up in abusive homes or have been abused or maybe witnessed traumatic experiences either adopt those patterns, or they're completely the opposite, where they're like, I refuse to be a weak woman like my mom was. But guess what? Those are people who acknowledged those insecurities, acknowledged those circumstances, and chose to have a certain perception for their lives. Which brings me to put yourself first. Sometimes we really do need to take that time to stop being givers and, thinking that, oh, I'll give, because surely I'll get that reciprocation, but not always, you know what I'm saying? So in those circumstances where you feel you've given and you ain't getting it back, that means that, you need to do something different. So therefore, it's time to start putting yourself first and say, you know what? Nah, I'm going to put my foot down. Because when you put your foot down, even though it may be hard because, the people around you have maybe become selfish, or maybe they, need that from you and they feel that they depend on you and they think that it would be a selfish move for you. Sometimes you got to be selfish. Sometimes you got to pamper yourself to remind yourself that you love yourself, And some great ways to put yourself first is also to feed your mind with people who also love themselves. One of my favorite books, it changed my entire life, is called Love Addiction by Pia Melody. I think that this book is not even just about relationships. It is based on your relationships with men and, love relationships, family relationships, but it also is such an example of you and your mentality about yourself. It really, really will blow your mind, the things that you learn about yourself, and about the way that you love. It's called Love Addiction because you'd be surprised the amount of people who are addicted to love. I got this tattoo before I read the book, and it's hub, it's love in Arabic. And yeah, I didn't realize I was addicted to love, and I was like, whoa, all I ever wanted was love. So I subconsciously got it tatted on me because to me, I was like, if I get something tatted, it needs to be something that will last forever. But the reason that I got it tatted, the meaning of love back then when I got it tatted was a completely different meaning of love that I see now. I see love differently. And that's really what this video is about, guys, is to see love and loving yourself in a different way. Iyanla Vanzant. You guys have probably heard of her. If you haven't, I strongly suggest you start Googling now. Her story is incredible. She came from an abusive relationship, actually. Went to school for law. Now she is a psychologist, one of the best ever on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Iyanla Fix My Life is her, award-winning show. And she is all about helping you get back to loving yourself with doing your work. That is her tagline, do your work, She's a great person to follow to get your mind to habitually think differently about yourself and catch those signs. I think I catch these signs when I watch her show. I'm just like, oh my goodness. I thought that I knew the subconscious mind, and I thought that I was able to catch certain things about me and the way that I act and the way that I think, but she helps you read between those lines like you ain't never read before. Brene Brown, absolutely incredible scientist. She researches people. It's kind of hard to explain. She explains it a lot better, but she is a scientist who literally researches people. And just watch one lecture, it'll blow you away. Just randomly click one, it'll blow you away. You won't even realize that you actually needed it. And last but not least, you guys, cancel the toxic people. How do you expect you to love yourself when all you have around you are enemies who essentially are bloodsuckers who don't see beauty in themselves? So why in the world would they see beauty in you? And if they do sort of see beauty in you, that essentially makes them a hater on you. You don't need them around you, because those are the type of people who need to build themselves up. So when they see a little light, they're like, let me shut that down, because I don't want her to think, or I don't want him to think that, they're better, or that this is okay, or this should be celebrated because you ain't better than none of us. You don't need no toxic people around you. That includes your professional life, your work life. What's your team looking like? Look at what happened with Kevin Hart recently. He just got caught cheating on his wife right before she has a baby. And then in the same year, it turns out to be his right-hand man that he grew up with. It's like, really size up your team. And that's sad. It's like sometimes, I'm sure, that's the one person he thought he could trust because I came up with you. But it's crazy, like you think that you built that muscle to kind of like keep that circle small and like make sure you judge people correctly, and then here's this person out of nowhere. 80% of the people who rob you are the people that you know. You just got to be more cognizant of who you got around you. That's friends and family as well. Of course friends, but family as well. You know, you can love your family, but know that they're toxic, and just know that, you know what, my time is valuable and I can only give you about an hour. Because after an hour, I'm just drained from the toxicity. But thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe! And I'll see you next time.